God bless you, youth. Today we want to start a discussion about one of the biggest callings that God has made us, and that is about our priesthood. I want to start off reading a verse. It's 1 Peter 2:9. It says, "But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people who are God's own possession. You have become these people so that you may speak of the wonderful acts of the one who called you out of darkness and into his amazing light." So here it mentions various phases that God has called us to be, but the one we want to focus on is that we're a royal priesthood. In other versions, it says that we're called to be priests in the service of the King, which is Jesus Christ. So sometimes when we hear about priesthood or about being priests, we get a little bit confused. But one of the functions that they used to have in the Old Testament was that they were called to burn incense. They were called to make offerings for the people of Israel because of their sins. But now we have to take it into the spiritual aspect, where God has given us the ability to be ministers of his tabernacle or ministers of his presence. But one of the key things that we want to focus on is that the high priest had a special dressing or a holy dressing, and it was an instruction that was given to Moses. So if it was an instruction given to Moses by God, it is very important, because just as we take the function as priests now, we also need to understand what are those dressings and what God is trying to tell us now so that we can function in his presence. Because back in the Old Testament, only the tribe of Levi and only the ones who were called to be priests were able to enter into the tabernacle of Moses. So a little bit a summary of the tabernacle of Moses. It was divided in three parts. It was the courtyards, it was the holy place, and it was the holy of holy places. So only the high priest was able to go into the holy of holy places. And he's the one that he says here in Exodus 28, 1-4, it mentions the garments and why he had to wear those holy garments. So I'm just going to read the verse 2, which is what specifies about the holy garments. So it says, "And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty." Another version says that it was made, these clothes were to give him honor and respect. So you see in these versions, these dressings weren't just so they can look nice or so that they can look pretty, but it was called, or they were special, because they were giving the high priest one glory, they were giving him honor, they were giving him respect. It made him stand out. But as a high priest, he had a very important function or a very important calling, because he was the only one that was going to be able to enter the holy of holy places. And that's where the covenant was. That's where which is figure of God's presence, which now we're all able to enter into God's presence by his grace and his mercy and by the blood of Christ. But just as special of a function that he's given us, it's also an important thing, because it's not just about entering the presence of God, but it's how we enter them. So basically, these few topics that we're going to be talking about, or these few videos that we're going to be showing, is about these special dressings and what they each mean. I think it's around 6 or 7 of them that we're going to be explaining. But the main point that I want to leave in your heart today, youth, it's that these dressings are to give you a glory. It's to give you an honor. It's to give you a respect, so that you can move the spiritual things in the world. And we look forward, we're excited about these videos, and stay tuned, because I know they're going to be a huge blessings, and I know that God has great things for us. Remember, you were called to be a priest of the Lord. God bless you guys.